What is up, guys? We're going to be doing our SmackDown reviews, and then the next video we're going to be doing our Raw review. So, I usually do 2 videos in a clip because, reasons. So yeah, let's get into SmackDown first. Actually, no, we're going to get into Raw. We're going to do this as a Raw review, actually. So, first starting off with CM Punk coming out, the LA Fires, issues, and, really help and support them. Like, please, help support them because, they're going through tough times right now, and we really need to support them and stuff like that. So I advise you to do that, to do that foundation where you, raise money for them. I'd really appreciate that. And then, we had Seth come out, and then they were, just, I guess, talking about their match they had the week prior, and then Drew's comes out, and then CM Punk's like, hey, I beat you in that bad blood match, and I made you get bloody now, and it'll be even worse if you come in this ring right now. And then, they all 3 of them addressed that they're going to be in the Royal Rumble. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre are going to be in the Royal Rumble. So you have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk in the same Rumble, and John Cena, which makes 5 contestants that are confirmed. And I think Ray is confirmed because on SmackDown, but we'll talk about that in our SmackDown review, because right now we're doing a Raw review. So yeah, and then yeah, that was that. And then Drew's like, I'll see you at the Royal Rumble, yada yada yada. And then and we had our next match, which was we had Chad Gable face off, I'm trying to think of his name. What is it? Some luchador from AW. I don't really remember what his name was. But yeah, it was Chad Gable versus some luchador that came from AW and is staying in WWE. Oh yeah, Penta. Penta was his name. Penta versus Chad Gable. Yeah, Penta, showed out. Totally shocked me because, as you know, I don't watch AW, and he did a drop kick, he did a Hurricane Rana, just a standing regular one. And then he did a sitting power bomb, and then he did this Chad Gable did an ankle lock, then he got the ropes, and then he did his own arm lock, which popped probably Chad Gable's arm out of the socket. Not gonna lie, I think it popped his arm out of the socket. And then he did his finishing move, Penta, to pick up the victory. 1, 2, 3. Penta wins, and he's and he gets on the mic and he's like, this is the Penta era, and then he does this, like this, and then like this, and then like this. So yeah, that was a great thing. And then they did that Penta chant from AW, and then they did it in WWE for the first time. First time he's on Netflix. The debut of Penta was amazing. So yeah. Yeah, and then we get into Gunther coming out. We get into Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, I think. And that match was amazing. Sheamus beats the chest. He did whatever he had to do to get rid of Ludwig Kaiser, sorry. Took me a minute to think of his name. And he basically, I think he won with a broad knee to the face. He did this knee to the face, and he did a couple chops thrown. But yeah, I think he did a broad kick out of nowhere, and then that's how he won. And then he was staring at Braun Breaker, which then gives us a match at Saturday Night Main Event between Braun Breaker and versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship at Saturday Night Main Event, which is going to be amazing. And then we have our next thing. Gunther coming out, and now he's just addressing who's going to be my next opponent, yada yada yada, and all that stuff. And his next opponent is Jey Uso, because Jey Uso came out And he's like, and he called Jey Uso a tag team wrestler. You can only go so far above that echelon, that point. And Jey Uso made a point. He's like, well, this tag team wrestler has the most selling merchandise in WWE. How did he do that? This tag team wrestler was Intercontinental Champion. How did he do that? How is this tag team wrestler a single star? How did you do that? I'm gonna beat you, Gunther, and take that World Heavyweight Championship from you at Saturday main event. Yeet. And then Gunther's like, yeah, you're doing all this yeet stuff. And he's like, yeet. And then we're gonna have Jey Uso versus Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's gonna be amazing. I'm definitely going to recap my reactions and stuff on that in a video and stuff. So yeah, that was that. And then we had Rhea Ripley come out before the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. And, Rhea Ripley came out. She's like, mommy's back on top again. And all that stuff. And, yeah, she basically came out and said that. And then Nia Jax came out. She got booed the heck out of, which I wanted that to happen. Because she needs that, mood and that move to get booed so much that she can't take it anymore. Just like the New Day, just like Dominic, she's getting the same treatment, I guess, over there on Monday Night Raw. And then she was talking some smack and trash to Bayley, which Bayley then spoke it up, and then they brawled. Nia Jax hit a headbutt to Bayley, did a headbutt to Rhea, and then Bayley sent Nia out of the ring. And then Bayley, there was sequence where Bayley was going to pick up the Women's World Championship. World Women's Championship. And Rhea Ripley picks it up. And she looks at her, and then Bayley kind of eyes down the championship. So maybe that's going to set a future match between Bayley versus Rhea Ripley somewhere down the line. Maybe that's the WrestleMania match. I don't know. Maybe it's Elimination Chamber. I'm sure we're going to have Nia versus Rhea again. Because last year Nia lost. This year Nia's trying to change that. She's trying to be Women's World Champion since she lost the Women's Champion. So maybe that's possible. Maybe we get Nia versus Bayley again. I don't know. I mean, the trajectory really here is to see who has more strength and ability in Nia and Rhea as of right now. But, yeah, that was insane. Crazy. And then we move on to our Women's Intercontinental Championship match crowning. Who's going to be our first Women's Intercontinental Championship? Now, our first Women's United States Champion was Chelsea Green. Who's going to be our first ever inaugural Women's Intercontinental Championship? The final match between Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai. Now, Dakota Kai, she showed off in this match, had insane kicks, knees in the corner, I think, and then we had this suplex off the apron on the outside to Dakota Kai by Lyra Valkyria, and then Lyra Valkyria, wins. I think she did something off the top rope, a Phoenix Splash or something to win. And yeah, your first ever inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion is Lyra Valkyria. And in what way to just do it? Starting off with Lyra Valkyria being your first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. And now we have Women's Mid-Card, which is possibly unpredictable here. We don't know what's going to happen with both Chelsea, both Lyra, even down there in NXT with the Women's North American Championship with Fallon Henley. We don't know what's going to happen. And every week we get these build up after build up after build up after build up, and yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens then and there. And then I think we move on to our last and final WWE match for Raw. on our second episode of Raw Netflix, which is, but before we get into that, Logan Paul, said some stuff. It was like this Raw clip, and he said like some very valuable stuff about why he's gonna be world champion soon. He's gonna be this, that. He's gonna do all these goals. He's gonna be full time in the WWE, and yeah, man, I'm just excited for it. He just recently had Paul Heyman on his podcast, so like he's getting back into the switch of things, and I think we're gonna be seeing him next week, maybe the week after, but he is on Raw, so yeah, I just want to tell you and see what happens with that. But anyways, let's get into our final match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor in a street fight. Wow, this match was insane. Like, I didn't expect this. I expected this to be insane because, Damian Priest had lots of street fights. I don't think Finn Balor's had a street fight match in particularly this big. Because Damian Priest had a street fight match, I think not even like 2 years ago, in Backlash in Puerto Rico against Bad Bunny. And that was probably like one of the best street fight matches in a Swan John Puerto Rico street fight. Probably one of the best street fights, and it had Damian Priest in it. And yes, Bad Bunny did elevate Damian Priest. That's why Damian Priest is who he is today. If without that match, Damian Priest would just be nothing, in my opinion. So, like, yeah, this match, though, was insane. We had a Falcon Arrow from off the top of the crowd stands through 2 tables to Finn Balor, which was probably, like, the highlight of the whole night. I'm not even going to be kidding. And Finn Balor got on a stretcher, and then Damian Priest just decides to push it over, get Finn Balor in the ring, and Finn Balor did like this coup de grace to a table to Damian Priest, and Damian Priest no-sold that like a freaking boss, and he gets right back up, hits a razor's edge to Finn through a table, gets him back in the ring, I think, and then hits his South of Heaven choke slam to pick up the victory. Yes, Finn did do top rope coup de graces, like two of them, I think. I think he was going to do the third one, but he missed. And yeah, Finn just got South Heaven choke slammed. 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest wins the street fight, and yeah, that is your guys' WWE Raw on Netflix reviews of the second episode of it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.